catch up with my, try to catch up with my, catch up with my. This surely was a good sign, despite of everything I saw. It's slowing down time, changing all the laws. Try to catch it with my hands, so that I can take it home. Hoping I can keep it when I'm there, when you're gone. Try to catch it with my, catch it with my, try to catch it with my. Sometimes fast and sometimes slow, they are falling to the ground. Dance around circles, and I catch them with my mouth. It softens all the noises, it softens all the things. Everything is wild. So I'll kiss you with my hand, try to hold and make it stay. In the end it melts away. Try to catch up with my, so I'll catch you with my hand, try to hold and make it stay. In the end it melts away.
Everybody, welcome. It's Christmas Eve, and we are here. Thanks for joining me. We have Gemini, Lynn Smith, One Small Moose. Welcome. A Fish by any other name. Thanks for joining me, Lynn Smith, MP. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Edna, how you doing? Shara. We also have Vanessa, MJ, Beaker. Welcome. Nesquik Milk, Vanessa McCready, and everybody else. So Foodie Beauty did upload a, I think it's like 2 minutes or so, or less than 2 minutes. How long is it? I'm 1 minute and 50-second video. A Syrian and Canadian in Kuwait do stuff. Okay, we'll take a look at that. She furthermore says she made a schedule. She made a schedule yesterday, and that schedule is already no more because they were supposed to do Street Fighter today, right? but they're not gonna be doing Street Fighter because she says she's a bit stressed. So let's take a look at that once again. And I gotta take off. Give me a second here. But we're gonna take a look at what she had said. Then after that, I will adjust this slow mode for everybody. If you're just coming in, smash the like button. I'd really appreciate it. Also, really appreciate that people are here with me to have this talk because yeah, there's a few things we can talk about. We're gonna get to that in a moment. If you want to join the panel, then by all means join the panel. All you have to do is send me a message on Twitter or Instagram, and I'll give you the invite link. Other than that, let's take a look at the community post, what she said, and then we're gonna get into her video, and then we're gonna get into other things. All right, so here we go. Let me F11 myself and share my screen. Teresa, Merry Christmas. Just I, Merry Christmas. Everybody else, pause and pose. Hi there. All right, let's go. All right, done and done. All right, so it says, hey, I need a mental health break. The internet is rough and sometimes it doesn't get to me, and sometimes, honestly, it's all just too much and I need some time away. I think a break from social media for a period of time could be healing and allow a period of reflection and self improvement away from a toxic environment where people are not picking apart my every move. I will spend quality time enjoying my new marriage and living life here. I will stop fighting with others on this platform and make my moves in secret as needed. I keep failing at this, but I'm hoping by repeating these same mistakes that I will finally learn what is best for me. Thanks for allowing me this time to work on myself. Foodie Beauty. And that was 4 hours ago at the time of this recording. Before that, she had posted a schedule that is no longer available because she removed that because she was supposed to do Street Fighter today. Okay, all right. I mean, we all can get into this mode where things are just a bit too much, and I totally get that. She did post, like I said, on Salah and Chantal. So let me take a look at that and see what is there. She will be back bright and early tomorrow, says Toasty. Her time away 12 to 16 hours. Yeah, she could be back tomorrow. A lot of people are thinking that. It seems to be the case a lot of times where she'll say she needs some time off, and you think it might be a few days, and then she's back within hours. So let me share my screen once again. So this is it. A Syrian and Canadian in Kuwait do stuff channel trailer. Let's take a look at this trailer. If anyone's messaging me on Twitter or Instagram, I'll get to you in a second. All right, let's go. Okay. Mm-hmm. Ooh, nice shot. Okay. You guys feeling this? Here we go. That wasn't needed. I will cut that out. Oh, look at his skills. Okay, why did he really put that in, didn't he? He had to. Right? An overview. Yeah, I guess it's a trailer on the couples channel. Wax Posty. I mean, what do you guys think about that? I don't have an issue with it all, except for the weapons thing, because YouTube is always changing, right? And YouTube in the past has come down hard on certain channels that display certain types of weapons. So usually, if it was me, I'd literally blur it out or just remove it completely if I'm gonna do a trailer. Just my hot take on that. Did you guys want to watch it again? See if we pick up anything else? I guess I can. Um Let me yeah, I guess I can. Hey, once again, if you wanna join the panel, join the panel. Okay. Edna says yes. Let's go. We'll do this once more, and then we're gonna get into the meat of things, talking about, the year, what has happened before, what's gonna happen in 2023 and whatnot. Where we were a year, exactly a year from now. I'll look back into my archives and show you guys what live streams were happening literally a year ago, because it was a doozy those times. I still can't believe it's been so long. All right, so let's go. Hey, Cerinthia, happy holidays. Kind of looks like that, Shara. Totally, you got a point. But then that would mean putting in new footage or getting new footage. Hey, Suzy Q, Merry Christmas. Yes, Vanessa, it's been a while. Oh, look at his skills. I know he's the one who wanted that put in. Oh, nice gal, Charlotte. Okay. Well, well, well. Welcome everybody just coming in. And that's it. Once more. Done and done. That is it. All right. So where were we a year ago? Let me take a look. Because I'm still scrolling through. It's been so much. But we're gonna do this. A year ago we had CPAP rescue after Christmas. It was after Christmas we had CPAP rescue. Do you remember that? Because a lot of people were streaming, a lot of people were interested. Whether or not you were interested in the well being of Chantal, or whether or not you were just interested to see if something did happen to her or didn't happen to her. Some people were invested that anything could have happened to her, and some people did want things to happen to her, unfortunately. There's just been a lot of things that were going on at the end of the year. All right, so I'm at month 11 right now. I'm still scrolling through all my stuff. Okay, so wow. All right, still scrolling, still scrolling, still scrolling. The whole oh man, I remember the Merry Xmas stream. That was something. Okay. All right. I think we're here. Crashing Natters, let's do it. And I ordered food. So I think this is the one. Let me check if this is for the 24th. No, this was the 23rd. So the 24th was Christmas Eve Bees In with Foodie Beauty. It was a 3 hour stream. Let me make sure what was on it. Let me check. Once again, everybody. Okay. She had the hair at the time. She was in front of her in her kitchen and she was talking. Just talking, talking, talking. Oh, and I think she had deliveries of stuff. Do you guys want to watch it or no? Yelemi says, honestly, if she is in a real marriage, she should log off for a while and just be as a couple privately. Yeah, I would say so. Like, have some alone time. But then also, you gotta remember alone time means that you aren't making videos or live streams and your rent's gotta be paid. So that's what that also means. So there needs to be a comfortable middle in between rent being paid versus also having the ability to be with your partner. So can she do both? Of course she can do both. She could easily have a great partner and also, have some alone time before and after streams. I don't know what's really going on with their relationship, but something's going on. She won't make money. Yeah, so hey, whatever Foodie Beauty does, hopefully is for her best interests. Let me do a vote here. Do you think she will be on maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day, maybe sometime really soon? Because a lot of us are thinking maybe by tonight or by tomorrow or by Boxing Day, she will be back. A lot of us think that. So let's do a poll. When will Foodie Beauty be back? Will it be today, like tonight, tomorrow, um, December 26th, or before New Year's? All right. I gotta. All right, here we go. I think these options should be good enough. All right, vote now, everybody. Ziggy says, of course, she'll be back pronto. Well, one thing that gives it away is Peetz is worried about how they're going to pay rent for. It's about how are they going to pay rent for next month? Because if he's worried, that means that something's up. Maybe Foodie Beauty has to put her monies elsewhere. Like she still hasn't been streaming or doing videos at the consistency as she was before. So I totally get that. So what is gonna be happening? She doesn't want us to ask what she got from Salah. Is that it? I don't consider her even gone. Yeah, well, she did put out the promo. So is that really being gone? Probably not. I wouldn't think so. But hey, that's just me. Get real jobs in the real world 9 to 5. Would you give up something that makes you, steady full time income to get a real job where you have no control over your hours or other things? When I think about that, what would be best? It would be best if she makes a brand around whatever she has. She can go a long way. Social media is here to stay, where there's going to be people who will just consistently make money online, and that's all that they'll do is make money online, make money online, make money online. Ziggy says rent is increasing, hydro and gas too. Exactly. So if she can just turn things around and build a brand for herself, then she can easily keep making money online. It's just a matter of what will she be doing and just turning this completely around and getting away from just really bad situations. All right, Beaker, take care of yourselves. Enjoy yourself at your parents' place for dinner. Happy Xmas Eve and Merry Christmas to you when it comes. Jackie H says she needs to alter her ways. True. Did you guys hear Jenna Marbles got married? Okay, well, good for her. Good for her. I know she was a hiatus and whatnot. Former YouTube star Jenna Marbles marries long-term boyfriend Julian Solomita. Okay, that is good. Amazing. Good for her. Congrats. At least that's a good story to come out of all of this. Yeah, I remember when Jenna Marbles was like one of the top channels back in the day. And I was like, wow, she is just, she was doing great for herself. Her channel still pulls in income. If you've noticed, if you go to people's social blades on channels that are dormant, if you look at their social blades, they're still pulling in income. So just don't think, nothing's happening with that channel. Like Jenna Marbles still gets uh on average 181,000 views per day. Can you imagine how much that is? That is a shit ton of monies where she never has to work ever again. As long as YouTube is around, she's in the Wax Museum, I think, twice. Nice. As long as YouTube is around, Jenna Marbles is pulling in hundreds of thousands of dollars a year without doing anything. That's actually quite impressive to get to that point. And there's a few channels that do that where they're dormant, but they're still pulling in hundreds of thousands of views per day to where there's no need for them to actually be doing anything each day. They don't need to because they're still getting paid. And one of those channels is Jenna Marbles, so congrats to her. Another channel that I've seen that's like that is before they were famous. They still put out videos, but they are the videos that they put out now ain't getting the views, but the views are also from the previous content they've put out. Yeah, yeah, good for her that she's doing this. She loved her greyhounds exactly. It is passive income. I love her day in the life videos with her dog. Exactly. See, that's what I'm talking about. The day in the life videos with her dog. So many other things. Like, she's making income without having to work. So that's extremely amazing that she can do that. Maybe I should put up her social blade just in case anybody is a little bit confused, but they shouldn't be. Nothing confusing about it. She's rated a B. And here we go. This is what I'm talking about with the passive income. She hasn't put anything out in but 2 years. But if you look, the views are like 391,000 views on the 11th of December. Yesterday, the 23rd, 238,000 views. Massive amounts of views for a channel that has not done anything in 2 years. That's incredible. So her views are still about 3, 4, I guess 5 in just in November, millions of views a month. That gives you a considerable amount of paycheck. Only a few channels can actually say that they've done that. What did you say, Gal Charlotte? Okay, I thought her channel died. Okay, I see. Yeah, well, thanks for the input. It was really good. Other than that, we've seen Chantal come from being in a relationship with Nader to still wanting Nader, to fighting Nader every day, to not being with Nader because Didi was with him, to her trying to get him back desperately, to him ignoring her. We've seen her go to the police station on him. We've seen so many things, but now we've seen her get Salah, be with Salah, allegedly married Salah, And she is a married woman. Who would have thought that a year from CPAP rescue, that Chantal would have been a married woman with a guy that lives in Kuwait? Nobody would have seen this happen. Nobody at all. But we've come this far. So congrats to her. I mean, things change. Some things change, some things stay the same. Still can't believe that happened, but hey, it's incredible how a year or even just a few months people can change so much. Antoinetta, Merry Christmas to you. Freedom Deep says maybe being away from family and her comforts of home is causing her feeling down. Maybe because this would be what, like the first Christmas that she hasn't seen her mom. Like, after, you know how you get into the you get into a sense where you're constantly you're constantly seeing your family members over the holidays and special times, and this is going to be like her first time being in a country away from her family. Of course she's going to have those mixed feelings. Like, you're going to like who you're with, you're going to love your partner you're with, but then again you're still away from family, so that's going to weigh on you. So why not? A fish by the name says she did a lot of living this year, I guess. Yeah, she did a lot of living, and if she stays away from Nader, at least she got away from him. Um, I guess in a good amount of time, I would say, because there's a lot of people who don't get away from a person who's mistreating them in their lives. There's a lot of people who just end up not doing well, not getting away from somebody who's abusing them, and it ends poorly for them. Just as JC says, I think she will see him again as in Nader. Well, hopefully not. Ziggy says, I think her financial situation started to hit her. Maybe she realizes she's in big trouble. Well, she can always rectify that financial situation. All she has to do is do right, make the best decisions, the right decisions each and every single day, and she can get out of it because she does have an audience that want to see her. She does have people who, like to watch her, whether they truly like to watch her or hate watch her. There is an audience there where she can, gain an income from. So all she has to do is just do the right thing. Jan's Views, Merry Christmas to you. Anybody coming into the chat, if you want to join the panel, join the panel. I am here to say that we're doing a Christmas Eve talk, just to talk about anything and everything involving, the girlverse, and just the amount of changes that has been seen. Still say, it's incredible that this has all happened in a year. As I've said, I would never have thought uh, I would never have thought that this would have happened and we'd be here, but we are here. I wonder what December 24th, 2023 is going to bring. When I look back a year from today and be like, wow, I can't believe we're here. It would be nice to do a stream like that again. We're like, OMG, look at what has happened in the past year. Who would have expected all of this? All right. Once again, if you want to come up, then come up. Hey, Dynamite, welcome. Other than that, still worried for Peetz. Still worried about the cats. Peetz did talk about him being a bit worried about the rent situation and how it's going to be paid. Well, I think Peetz needs to do a little bit more hustling. If you're worried about the rent, what you can do is help yourself, because sometimes people are not going to help you. You just got to help yourself and, do the best you can. And maybe you'll still need help, maybe you won't. But if you still need help, at least you can say you tried and you tried your best. and things just didn't happen for you. But at least once again, you can say you tried. You did whatever you could do to try and rectify the situation. So at least that's what they can do. If Peetz is worried about rent, what Peetz needs to do is stream, look for a job. If he's still not in the right mindset to look for a job, then stream, do videos, edit, do whatever it takes to survive, because Canada is heading for a recession and it's not going to be good. It's not going to look pretty. And a lot of people are, yeah, worried about, what are they going to do? How are they going to survive? So I say help you by helping yourself. Ziggy says, I'm worried that if she doesn't turn her lifestyle around, we may be seeing a hospital bees. Yeah, we used to see those. We used to see those hospital bees in a every few months due to certain specific situations. Now we don't see them so much. Okay, all right. So we got Jan's views. Hey, I'm gonna give you the link, Jan. All right, Jan's views is gonna come up. And yes, and if he tries, he will continue to improve. Exactly, he can improve himself. Sober K says, no, no, Monty, we don't help ourselves. You just sit and cry to your subs and hope for some super chats. Well, it seems that was the case for Foodie Beauty. Not gonna lie, she used to do that, especially when the power was turned off for a few hours. She should try living with power for a few days in the middle of winter, because that happens. That happened already many times. Bad snowstorms, being locked in, trapped in your house, like what happened in Buffalo like a month ago. Many things has happened, and people just got to deal with it. Now we're having r- rolling blackouts and whatnot. Ziggy says Peetz doesn't think getting a job is going to help his situation. That type of thinking. I mean, he says YouTube is his hustle, but he doesn't have a main hustle yet. So what's up with that? So he has a side hustle without the main hustle. Maybe it's time for some self reflection. I really wish you would take the time. Maybe what would be nice is if he starts cleaning the house little by little. All right, Jen's views. I see you. I'm gonna add you right now. Hello.
Hello, Merry Christmas.
It's Merry Christmas to you. It's what, 9 o'clock there right now for you?
Yes,
Yeah,
9,
just after 9.
9 p.m. I'm in my lounge, still wrapping presents.
Ah, I
Um,
see.
and I thought I've just finished watching the Meghan and Harry series, and yeah, that was all a bit depressing. Um, and then I thought, oh, I'll see what's on YouTube, and there you were.
Yes.
There you were, right there. So, yeah, I've still got wrapping to do. Are you all done?
I'm alone, so it's only my cats and myself for Christmas and the holidays this time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, nobody
Okay.
else. I don't have anybody else here.
Oh, okay. Where are your family?
Well, my mother passed away in July, so my dad
Oh,
went back home, so I'm just here alone.
oh, Monty. So, are you going to be coming on live?
Yeah, I'll most likely be on live tomorrow as usual.
Yeah, nothing wrong
Hmm.
with that. There's a lot of people who spend Christmas on their own. So yeah, I can fully understand, and I send condolences for the loss of your mother, most definitely. But yeah, there's a big community online that doesn't have family or or close relatives to spend the Christmas period with. So going online is a good idea, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, I'm actually in the aviation community, and we're just av geeks. Like we follow plane spotters, and there's one in particular that went viral last year, who is doing a Christmas Day live as well. So if you like aeroplanes, I'll I'll send that over to you. So yeah, he's going to be live tomorrow as well.
I see.
Yeah,
I was watching one of those channels with like the takeoffs. It
yeah.
was, and I'm like, wow, there is really a community for this. That there's going to be a comfortable amount of people watching airplanes taking off and landing. I'm like, wow,
Well, he gets an average of 4,000 per live stream.
wow. That what
Yeah,
channel is this?
it's called Big Jet TV.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, and yeah, they're huge. But see, the thing is, that's what makes me laugh about YouTube and all this, shenanigans going on. That people, some people feel that this is what YouTube is about. It's not. It really is not. This is a very small, toxic area of YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
and people would be wise to seek out other interests and communities that they could join. I mean, I'm a Patreon of one person, one channel, and it's that one, Big
Ah,
Jet
nice.
TV. That
That's
is who I'm a
amazing.
Patreon of, because, and we're a community. Um, there's, as I say, there's a lot of people that are on their own. So Jerry, who runs it, he fires up the camera at Heathrow Airport at Christmas. He also does New Year's Eve. Last New Year's Eve was amazing, because after we'd sort of watched all the planes and everything, we then saw all the fireworks. It was incredible.
Yeah.
So that's what I would say to people, who feel that YouTube is, so very toxic. It's not. It really isn't. It depends which communities you frequent.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to sort of be very um blinkered, if you like, and not look outside to see what else is going on. But there's loads going on. There's loads going on that you could become a part of, or just enjoy. I like true crime. I also watch a lot of true crime uh, videos on YouTube. I watch art videos on YouTube. There's some fabulous artists on YouTube that do paint tutorials, which can be quite inspiring. If I'm sort of lacking in a bit of artistic motivation, I'll stick on an art video. So,
Mm-hmm.
I don't. God, I think my life would be, hate to say this, but I think my life would be very sad if all it was this community. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do it, Monty, day in, day out, talking about this bloody blob. I just, no, I couldn't. It honestly, it would drive me round the wall, round the bend. It
Well,
really would.
yeah, I do other things, but we'll see what happens because she's aiming for a change. And like I said, a lot of other people have changed and, they changed for the better. So, I wish Chantal the best. So we'll see if she does change. Mary sent me something. Thank you so much, Mary. Mary said, Santa Monty, Merry Christmas Eve. Thanks for all your hard work and for providing the space for all of us. We all love you. Oh, thank you, Mary. I appreciate it.
That's
Thank you so much.
lovely.
Yeah.
Hello, Lynn. Merry Christmas.
Yes, for
Yeah,
sure.
it'd be interesting, Monty, to ask your followers which other communities they frequent on YouTube. That would be quite interesting.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I'm sure there's a lot of wide and varied tastes.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have seen the community that you're talking about, like the airport airplane community. I've seen channels getting a lot of views on something
Mm.
that I would never think people would watch. But people like watching the landings, the takeoffs, the taxiing off the runways, and I'm like,
It's
wow, there is actually
yeah.
a
As I
space for
tell you,
this.
I think it was in the summer of this year, he went viral because we had a storm over here, Storm Eunice, I think it was.
Hmm.
And he was at Heathrow and he was filming all the planes coming in. They're all crabbing as they're coming into land. Um, and he went viral. He had, at one point, now let me get this right. At one point, I think he had 12,000 in the live stream,
Wow.
and it actually took over the news. It took over the TV networks. More people were watching his little channel than were watching um TV. And I think he's got 7 million views on that. So, and this guy just basically going to the airport years ago and
Yeah.
taking pictures of planes taking off and landing. That's how he started.
Hmm.
And he's built this community now. And we have as I say, there's an average of about maybe 4,000 in his lives every day. And well, not every day. He goes live about twice a week now, maybe 3 times. And we never have any trolls in there. You never have anyone come in there slagging off other people or anything like that. So it's a
Yeah,
very sort of wholesome subject to follow.
that
I'm
is
sure.
amazing.
Yeah, it is. And
So yeah, that viral live was, yeah, it's now at 7.5 million and is from
yeah,
10 months ago. So good for
yeah,
him. How does he get these super close up shots? Like sometimes he gets like he's like right at the airport, so he has,
with
I
his
guess he gets
camera,
permission.
with his camera,
Yeah.
he's because he's been doing it for some time now. He contacts the local hotels, and some of them are actually, in the site
Yeah.
in Heathrow, but some of them are just sort of outside. So he's got a super duper camera, and he goes up on the roof. He has to get permissions, and also he has to get permissions from the police as well,
Yeah.
just for security reasons. And he films with like a super duper camera, and you think you're there, you feel like you're there. But because his channel's doing so well, and he's got quite a few Patreons, I mean, we all keep his channel going for him. He goes abroad. He goes over to America once a month. He's been to Anchorage and Boston and Louisville. Oh, this is over the last few months. So yeah, he's like really successful in what he does.
Yeah.
But I know not everybody not everybody likes it. But those of us that do, it's a godsend.
Yeah, exactly. My
Yeah,
condolences again, Cynthia, about your father and your mom passing away. Well, thank you so much for, being here with me. And yeah, thank you, Jen's Views, for coming up.
very welcome. I
Yeah.
could see you up there all on your own, and I thought, oh, I'll go and say hi. I'll go and annoy Monty. So, what should we talk about? Who should we annoy?
Well,
Come on, let's get going. Who should we talk about?
I'll leave it open. How have you been keeping up with the Peetz and Chantal situation, and the home and the
Not,
paying of the rent and other things?
yeah, don't keep up with it. I mean, to be honest, I watch most of it with you. Because sometimes if I'm doing something, I'll just stick you on and I'll listen. Um, Peetz, I think, is a very sad case. I think he's been exploited. I think he's been exploited by Foodie and abandoned. Yes, I realise he's 40-year-old. He's almost 40, but he's on the spectrum. He should have somebody that's looking after him, somebody who is pointing him in the right direction as far as
Mm-hmm.
lifestyle choices, and he obviously doesn't have that. He should, if he has a diagnosis, which I think he should have, then he should be in like the community mental health community. I think I said that wrong. So that there would be people calling in on him to see what he's doing and how he's coping. He obviously doesn't cope very well. I don't like that people question the things he says sometimes, because he's on the spectrum. His brain is wired differently to ours, and yes, he does come out with very problematic statements, but
Mm-hmm.
his brain's just wired wrong. I mean, if it were me,
Yeah.
I couldn't react to him, because so the thing is, I've worked with teenagers with varying degrees of learning disabilities, and that's how I can recognize um, that Pete's needs help. He shouldn't be on YouTube. He shouldn't be putting himself out there. I think what he could, if he had something that he really, really loved and had a different community, if he had a different community that liked what he liked,
Mm-hmm.
then he could build a community of people that would help him, that would keep him positive, and everything that's needed for him to live a reasonably happy life. But the problem is, as I see it, he is surrounded by uh Foodie Beauty's fans, who, to be honest with you, are toxic. So they're just there to prod him. This is all my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, so I feel that the people that are in Peetz's channel, in these live streams, they don't really care about him. They don't. All they want to do is wait for him to slip up and say something totally, totally wrong, and then jump on his back. And that's wrong. You shouldn't do that to somebody who has problems. I don't think it's fair, Monty. And and I'm not digging at you by saying that, because I realise that you do um, quite a few
Yeah.
reactions to
I
him, but
cover pizza streams, but I try and be as fair as possible. Like, I'm not trying to like dig into everything. Like, I try and offer fair advice and suggest certain things. But the problem with Peace is, like, people suggest things all the time to him, and he never wants to take people's suggestions to heart.
yeah, yeah, but I mean, yeah, okay. Can I just read what Ziggy's saying? Hi,
Sure.
Ziggy. Ziggy's saying, Pete doesn't need pity. Um, well, okay. Pete needs to build his everyday life skills. Exactly. Who's going to teach him though? He's not going to learn them himself, is he? If he's not in a family environment with a mother or a father or brothers or sisters that are saying, right, Pete, this is what you need to do. This is how you should react when you go out. When you go out, you can't do this, you can't do that. He's not gonna know about his life skills, is he? He's refusing help, and he can get help if he was more motivated. Exactly. So it's a situation. If he was surrounded by people, or if he was being helped by an organisation or a charity that dealt with people with learning difficulties or people on the autistic spectrum, they would teach him. They would have the skills to teach him how to do things. It's no good some person just coming up and saying, well, I'll help you. You've got to do this. You've got to do that. You've got to win his trust, first of all. That's the first thing you do. And, you know, when I worked in schools, we had defiant kids all the time. But the thing was, you have to learn to gain their trust, and then you gently cajole them into doing things. That's how I see Peetz. I know he's been horrible. I know he's said really awful things, but at the end of the day, I just see a man that needs help. That's what I see.
Yeah, he does need help, but the problem is he doesn't trust anybody except for Chantal. And a lot of people would say Chantal is the
Chantal
last
can't help
person
anyone.
that,
Chantal can't even help herself, Pete. Monty. Let's
yeah.
be honest.
So he's stuck in a very specific bad situation. Sober K
Yeah.
says, I promise you, if Peetz didn't have any safety net, he would find a way to manage all of his difficulties. He doesn't need to be coddled anymore.
Yeah, see, I don't agree with that either. See, I realise I'm probably the only person here that thinks like that, but hey, that won't be the first time.
I'm sure a lot of people think like that because a lot of people are seeing this different ways. I can see this the way a sobriquet has put, where Pete's had to do what he had to do to survive when Chantel left, so he started cooking. Before it was he acted as if he couldn't cook anything, he couldn't even make water boil, and look how far
Mm,
he's come. The cooking might not be tasteful, but at least it's edible. Like he's doing the rice, he's doing the veggies, he's doing the meat, and he's surviving.
mm. I'd just like to know that he's got some sort of oh, how can I can't, service, some services, some mental health services that are keeping an eye on him. And, if he could just form a relationship with somebody, from that service, from that care community, then I think it would be much better for him. But at the moment, I think he probably sees his YouTube subs as people who understand him, but I don't think they do. That's
Yeah, there might be some people who there are some people who truly care about him, but there's a lot of people who are just there for the tea, or they're just there to keep asking him the same questions and rile him up.
yeah.
And that's just a part of this space where there's a lot of people here that are just here for him raging rather than, seeing a human being that's, yeah, vulnerable at the moment, that's trying to do better with their lives. And there's a lot of things that they should be doing, but yet they're not.
Mm.
There's just so much to this, but the main thing right now is just that he doesn't want to accept help from other people.
Yeah, but do we know that? I just want to read um Cornwall Kuma
Okay.
responding to Ziggy. He won't go to a doctor. All he does is talk about how Canadian healthcare is superior, while at the same time not going to a doctor or dentist for 20 plus years. Yeah, I mean, and there's thousands and thousands of people that are like that. I
Mhm.
like the Ziggy one here that says he needs to connect with the Royal Ottawa Outreach Services. See, if people maybe were to go in his chat and put that in there over and over again, then possibly that could help. But I think because I've worked he I think because I've worked with teens that are very much like him, part of their autism is to be very defiant. You have to cajole them a bit, really. And the worst thing you can do is attack them. If you attack them, then they will just, go mad on you, like I've seen Pete's do on some of his videos, and I don't
Mhm.
like to see it. I don't like to see it, because it doesn't matter how old he is, if he doesn't have the skills in which, the mental skills in which to realize what's going on. He's never, God knows what he might do in the future, and it worries me that he's tagged along, paired up with Foodie, who is like the worst person he could have teamed up with, because she doesn't care about him. She's just been exploiting him for years.
Mhm.
So I wish, I don't know what sort of family he comes from. Yeah, Ziggy says men deal with depression differently too, but combine autism with depression. Yeah, autism and depression do go hand in hand. That's a fact. And a lot of it is down to not understanding, to live in a constant state of confusion. And also, because he's in such a toxic community online, he's kind of blinded, but led by that, if you see
Mhm.
what I mean. Because if he wasn't the way he is, he wouldn't have been with Foodie. He wouldn't be living in that house with her. I mean, if he's got any family or anything, I would rather he went and lived, with them than be with Foodie, because she's just awful. I
Hello,
mean, it's
everyone.
just.
You hear me?
Hey, Edna, what's up?
Hi,
We can hear
Edna.
you.
Hello,
Hey, Monty. Hey,
darling. You all
Jen.
right?
Hi, Chad. I'm doing well. I'm just really excited. This time of year always, well, it's like at the same time as the holidays, and like my mom passed around this time as well. So it's a
Oh,
little somber and nescent, but I'm really excited because it's the new year, and I don't know, I always feel like new year, new me, so I'm just like jazzed. But when you talk about Pete's being on the spectrum, I've recently realized that I'm neurodivergent. And like it's complicated because yes, it affects everything and whatever, like everything you're saying, I don't disagree with. But the thing is, Peace has to be able to advocate for himself. Like he has to be able to trust himself and to know himself before he can get the help and accept the help from others. And I think that's what it is. He doesn't understand himself.
mm. Yeah, absolutely, he doesn't. But then I think that's why he. It's all very well saying, well, he needs to be able to do this. He's proved that he can't do that. So he needs to, there should be in the community um, mental health helpers, nurses, whatever. I can't think of
Right.
the right terminology.
Well, and that's a whole nother story too, because I don't know how it is in Canada, but here it's difficult to get help if you're not employed and you don't have like you're not already diagnosed. Like he would have to be like institutionalized or basically give up all of his autonomy, probably, I would think. That's what it looks like. Kind of like a Jessica Metzger situation where she's kind of like submitting herself to the authority or to the experts, right?
Hmm.
And that's a really dangerous, vulnerable place to be. And that's even, like I can just imagine that's super scary. He already doesn't know like himself and what's going on. How can you really get help and trust the help if you know what I mean? You don't know what's what. That's terrifying.
But that's why I feel it would be nice if the community could sort of step in and just try and steer him in that direction. Like Ziggy has said here, I guess I'll have to help him. Outreach services in Ottawa is good. Yes,
Okay.
that would be wonderful. And Royal Ottawa is one of the best in Canada. I find it hard to believe that Canada, the size of Canada, and they're not like a third world country that doesn't believe in bad mental health. I find it hard to believe that there isn't something like outreach. That's what he needs. He needs outreach services where he can go possibly once a week, meet up with people, similar type of people to himself, and I mean, I'm not saying that he needs to go to the doctor and end up popping pills. What I'm saying is he needs to go somewhere where, like the
I know
out services.
I 100% agree with you, Jen, because
Yeah,
resources are very where we think they are.
yeah. Can
Honestly,
you
because I've
imagine?
been looking around. Yeah, that's why I created the Discord. Because when I first jumped in the scene, I was so excited. And I don't know what I thought. But as I stepped back a little bit, I was like, wow, like people are really hurting out here. Like I'm seeing the different posts because I see what people say about Foodie and Peetz, but like getting on to Twitter and mainly Twitter, you kind of see a peek into people's real lives. And there
Mhm,
was a post by somebody who's in my area who it was a really scary, alarming post. Without getting into details and triggering, and it just made me think like we're walking around, we're seeing all these people. I think we assume everybody is just fine, healthy adults, and they're not. And that includes the mental health. Like we're all been through this pandemic, and like we're still in the middle of it. So I think like all of us need, mental health, but peace, like somebody like peace where he is undiagnosed and needs extra resources, it's probably even more difficult. Like it's not gonna be any easier.
somebody down here has said, oh, have I lost it? Oh, here. Cerinthia says both my children are special needs. His guardian should have started him with services in his early years. I did that for my children. That is it. That's it.
Right.
That's exactly it.
And it's like,
And
what do you do when you're nearly 40 and you've never gotten those resources?
I know,
That's what we're looking at. And
I
I don't
know.
and peace isn't the only one.
You know what's really really sad is that the only time it seems with him, and I think with quite a few people in that situation, they
Mhm.
have to commit a crime to be noticed because then
That's where
they
we
will
get the
receive it.
DLF and we get the they're I call it being on like the edge of a knife, right? It's
Mhm,
like anything can just pop off, and because I see it in my city where there's it wasn't funny, but it's kind of funny. Where we were talking about like KFC or something on stream, and like I
mhm,
go look at the news to catch up because I watch my news on YouTube as well, and somebody had just shot somebody locally in the area because they were upset because they didn't get corn or something silly. You know what I mean?
mm.
But like I remember
That was
I was
local to
at
you?
yeah, that
I
was
saw
like
that
that was
story. Yeah,
that
on the
yeah, that
news.
could be the KFC I go to. Like
Really?
it's serious. Yes, it's
Oh.
scary out here. Yeah. So that's why I don't know. So that's why like I don't want to like be a reactor or anything because I'm not trying to get into drama. But that's why I created the Discord. It's like to be a safe space, a cozy space for people to come to like just relax. We're not trying to be therapists to like get into the deep or whatever. That's what the mental health professionals are for. But this is
Mm.
just like building up that social network and getting that interaction out for like I'm an introvert. I don't like to be like touching people and different things. So it's kind of like a fun way to socialize without having to, socialize in real life. That's how I see it.
Yeah, it sounds wonderful. But I think also, going back to what this lady just said, it does start from when they're kids. I mean,
Yeah.
I've worked with children who very similar
But
to
Jan,
Pete's.
listen, all these health professionals aren't really at the space that they need to be. Look at the lady that you were reviewing.
I know, absolutely.
See?
I
And that's what
know.
scares me too, because it's I'm not a mental health professional, right? I'll say that over and over again because I don't want, what I'm saying to be perceived like, or yeah, perceived like I think I know whatever, I have the answers. But this is just where I'm at and what I'm seeing that like peace, like imagine peace going to a woman like that. Like you have to know yourself, you have to trust your own mind at least
Mm,
enough to be able to be receptive and to trust the person in front of you to have some kind of discernment. Because if you go to a mental health professional and that's what you get, you would be messed up. Oh,
I
sorry for
know.
everybody who doesn't know. Jan was doing lives reviewing the videos of a therapist who was reviewing Megan
Right.
and Harry, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So in this therapist, I think basically cracked the case that she was jealous of Megan, but she's just going in on her from a professional um point of view, and just
Yeah.
completely against the ethics of the profession and everything. And that's why I say like Pete's Pete's is getting on my last nerve because low key he came for the Little Mermaid, so I
Did he?
and I'm not about that. Like, listen, Pete's, you better keep the Little Mermaid out your mouth, and we be good. That's all I got to say. I
Yeah.
leave it alone. But no, but seriously, yeah.
Yeah, I can understand you being upset about that. I would be upset about that too.
I
He's
know she
he's coming for everybody.
he does.
Yeah,
He need to
but
come for his. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, but
I'm about to talk record.
he doesn't understand. That's what people have to realize. He's not well. He's mentally ill. He needs help. And it's not that I'm pitying him. I'm not pitying him. I'm just saying it for what I see.
Mhm.
And
Well, you have
as
compassion for
somebody
him.
that sorry?
I said you're just showing your compassion for him as a fellow human being.
As a human
Yeah,
being, exactly. I can't just say, "Oh my God, look at him. Oh God, he said this, he could." No, because I've worked for like almost a decade with teenagers that
right.
acted very, antisocially. But
So what do you do with the teenagers? Because I think I might know somebody that could use help.
what can you do? What?
What
Sorry?
what can you do with a teenager? Or I mean, she's a young adult at this point, like I think 18 or so, 19.
No, no, they were secondary school. So I worked with
Oh,
students
I'm
that
saying,
were
oh, okay.
from 11, 12 through till, I
Oh,
don't know,
so a bit younger.
17, something like that.
Hmm.
And they do have to be taught, and they see things very literally as well. So
Yeah.
there's not sort of, if you said something, just an off the cuff something,
Hmm.
they would see that in a completely different way to somebody who wasn't on the spectrum.
Hmm.
They're just wired differently. It's the same, no two people are the same. And I just feel that I wish he would come off of YouTube, find a passion, find something that he really enjoys doing, and then perhaps start a new community where he
And wait,
finds
wait, 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 wait,
like-minded.
wait. Jan, do you watch P?
What?
This the man doesn't even leave his room, let alone the villa.
But don't you think that
What?
that's sad?
Yes, he needs to break down the boxes. You're talking about finding the community and everything. Like he's living in disarray. It's crazy.
Yeah, but it's not his fault.
No,
It's
but
not
it's
his
nobody's
fault.
fault. But he still needs to do something. Like he has to be the one. Nobody's gonna come in and save him.
Yeah, yeah, I know that. I know that. I'm not going to argue with you, Edna.
But
I know
no,
what
that's
you're
what I'm
saying.
saying. He's a grown man. He just has to I get it, right? Like we all go through our sad days. I can't relate to the state that he's in, 100%. But of course, there's been days where I know I should have done this or done that and blah, blah, blah. Like I'm neurodivergent. Like I can relate to being autistic. I get what he's talking about, but it doesn't it matters, but it doesn't matter in the sense that that's not a excuse. Like you
Mm,
still have to take care of yourself. And he's
yeah,
not doing that.
yeah, but that's one of the main things of one of the main symptoms of being on the spectrum. People on the spectrum show different.
Well, Jan, I also disagree with the way that science kind of attacks or not attacks, that's a loaded word, approaches autism. And I think of it more as a neurological disorder. And it's like you're so overwhelmed, or at least in me, it's like I'm so distracted by my neurology and I think in most people that people don't understand that it's not that you're not listening or you're whatever. It's just that you're just overwhelmed. You're overstimulated, right? And
Yeah,
it presents itself as the bad behavior. But like with me, my mom would not come up with not food with nothing like that, right? So it's like I've been taught and how to manage myself and everything in such a way to where like you said, he needs to go get resources. You know what I mean? It's difficult because it's like, oh, well, you can talk to people or you can look at them in the eyes. Like they look at it like you're a little child that, oh, whatever the case, how children would present. But they need to look at it as what does it look like as an adult? Like, is he really depressed? Or, I mean, like, I'm sure he's depressed, but I think people look at certain symptoms of how the autism presents and they diagnose it as all these different mental health issues, but I'm not sure that that's the case. But that's just what I'm working on. I don't know. That's just my thoughts.
Hmm. Yeah. I know what you're saying.
You said,
But
yeah, and but it's a big change, right? That's a huge paradigm change with the literature and the science and all of that. And I don't even know who's working on it. So I'm that's what I'm focused on, the neuroscience and all of that, of trying to really, because I like there has to be more research. Like we really need a lot to be done when it comes to like autism, whatever. Like there's a lot that needs to be discovered. And the basis and the fundamentals of what they're even building upon, I think are off. So it's like, how do you attack the foundation of something, or attack? That's a loaded word. How do we
well, I think you
change or
go
shift?
back. I think that sort of goes to what you were saying about, people, start talking to them as if they're children. And I think that sort of lends itself to the idea of going back to the very beginning and teaching them what you can and can't do, what is and is not socially acceptable. And that's what I used to do with the teens. You had to teach them because you knew that if they grew up not without those guidelines, there was a big possibility that they would get in trouble when they were older. And so, if you've got a man like him who's like Peetz, who've never had that, he's never. I mean, I'd like to know about his schooling. I'd like to know whether I think you call it remedial classes over there. Did he go to a special school?
The language has changed a little bit, but I know what you mean.
Yeah. So did he go through mainstream? Did he get any help because he showed signs of being on the spectrum? That's what I'd be really interested in because at the end of the day, you do have to go back to uh, to the very beginning in order to build a strong structure.
And you know what saved me is that I was basically identified as gifted rather than autistic.
Yeah.
So my school had a project or had a yeah like a program. They were testing out like college prep classes. So where 2 or 3 days out the week you can get out the classroom, do whatever you want, as long as you were basically um, doing your schoolwork and like you can like test out of regular school. And that's where like for honor students or whatever. And basically I was an honor student because I had to. Like my family was like, okay, this is the standard is set, blah blah blah. But I didn't really care about school. But once I was presented with that option, I was like, hell yes. Like let me get out of this classroom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he probably didn't have something like that, right? So he fell into a
Mm,
different trap or a different
Yeah.
track.
Well, we know that he can go to college. He did his 2 year associate's degree, so he can actually pass and do things at a college slash university level. So there's that. I just wished and hoped that Foodie Beauty would have paid for the testing when she had all those monies rather than waste it on Nadir, because that's exactly what she was doing, wasting her money
Right.
for months. We got
It's
Cerinthia. Hi, Cerinthia.
Hi, everybody. Happy holidays.
hi. Happy
hi, hey,
holidays.
sister.
My question is, so when he went to college, did he? Because I know at my college, if you're part of the disability program, you get like extra time on testing. You can get someone to help you read as you take tests or do things in the class. Do you think do they have that in Canada?
Yeah, we do have that. The problem is he isn't seen as disabled because he hasn't done the testing.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah, I can speak to that because I looked for those resources when I went to school. because like I have a degree, whatever, but it's difficult to read the text. So I would get like audio textbooks. And like, but when I went to go look for those resources, I'm sitting up there talking to them, and they're looking at me like, "Oh, you're good." I'm like, no, I need like it's not an intellectual disability. That's the thing that people don't understand is and I'm still wrapping my mind around how to explain it and kind of organize the way it really works too, because the way people think it autism works isn't really how it is.
Well, I have a they're saying that you needed like to be diagnosed. I know. Well, no, actually, I did have to bring paperwork because I'm part of the disability department, and I just remembered. I was about to say no, I didn't, but I did. I did have to bring paperwork from my counselor and my psychiatrist because when my class takes tests, I take them in a separate building and take it by myself so I can concentrate more. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Because you can hear because oh man, it used to be so annoying because I felt like I can hear everything buzzing, like because when everybody's quiet, you can hear the lights and
yep.
oh my goodness. Hmm.
You get easily distracted. I was just taking my final, and they had all of us, like the people that was in the disability department, in like one room, and one girl that was sitting in the one young lady, because she's a woman, was sitting in the back of me, and she was like talking to herself really loud, and I don't think she knew what she was doing because she was stimming. And
Right.
um so I had to like politely turn around and be like, I really don't mean to bother you, but your noise is distracting me. And she was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. So yeah, it
Hmm.
could.
People
Yeah.
don't even know. Like it's so funny when we were watching the Foodie Beauty video with the just the sitting bees in, and we could hear the smoke alarm going off. I can hear somebody's smoke alarm in my building, and like the next apartment over. Like I just pick up on those things, and it's not like I have super good hearing, but when it's real silent, and you hear that beep,
Yeah.
it's it's just those little kind of things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
and it's true that people that aren't really familiar with what people have to deal with who are under the umbrella of autism. As I said before, it shows itself in so many different
Mhm.
aspects. And if you've got a young child, some of the some of the symptoms can be spotted. But one of the things that a lot of autistic people have is an ability to be quite genius in certain subjects.
That's true. That's how my son is. My son is autistic, and history and science,
Yeah,
brilliant. I meant like complete. He'll come to
yeah.
me and tell me things, and I'm like, I didn't know that. But other areas
mhm.
he needs help in. Yeah. So he
And see, what I think that is that it's interest based, right? So you focus in on what you're interested in. And it's like the statistics where if you have 10,000 hours of, knowledge in something that you become an expert. But if you are constantly thinking about something, then that 10,000 hours might be compressed in like a third of the time or so because you're always looking at it. It's like I'm talking to people and I'm always thinking about the economy and crypto and everything. Because I was texting somebody like, "Oh, about a song," and before she responded, I was already watching a crypto video. Like,
Yeah, I understand.
sorry, I
That's
didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
no, no, no. I completely understand what you're saying because that's how my son is. He can
Yeah.
easily become very distracted.
Well, and I think it's a good thing if you're that invested in crypto. We could maybe have a crypto talk session because yeah,
Yeah.
I'm interested in crypto, but I'm kind of worried that the U.S. government's really gonna take a look at Binance, and if Binance goes, that could spell the end for crypto. Really,
What
if you think about it and other things.
I don't think so. So because I think or at least I won't speak for you, Monty. Sorry, I was
Good.
a little too in focused on or focused in on crypto because I think if you step back a little bit, it's blockchain technology. It's like we got to look at what Elon's doing with Tesla, with Twitter. Like he's focusing on Twitter, but Twitter is information, right? Like look at the assault on. Oh, this might be a little loaded. Wait, do we want to keep everything a little lighter, or is it okay to kind of get a little bit more serious?
Well, I guess we can get a bit
Let's
more
keep it
serious.
lighter.
Sasha
Oh,
says,
okay.
Monty, buy gold bars, buddy. I will be Sasha. I'm gonna hide them underneath my bed. My address is 1 2. No, really, I will
Okay.
hide them underneath my bed though.
Okay. I'll just say this. It's like I've noticed how with the different US presidents with like really I've started looking in to politics with Obama, and then we had Trump, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how I used to be really interested in like journalism, and like I thought like I was on newspaper, and just to say how old I was, right? So or like how much technology has come right now. And like Twitter is that. So to see Elon like want to understand Twitter and kind of be like a cool kid and everybody hates him is kind of funny, and that's the tea of it all. But it's interesting to see how this is all going to play out, right? And I think that it's really short-sighted to be like, oh, is Bitcoin going to the moon? You know what I mean? Like, I think it's much bigger than that. Like, it's all a blockchain technology, and because crypto is a part of that, it's not going to go away. But I don't know. I think like they have us focused on this little part while they're doing bigger things.
How
I
much do you
see.
have to start to end with crypto? How much do you have to start, or it doesn't matter?
It
You can
doesn't
start
matter.
with
You can.
$0 for crypto. There's people who have started with $0 and are millionaires in crypto because of eardrops. Eardrops used to be huge like 4 5 6 years ago, and people just get eardropped coins. And then if you sat on those coins, you're making hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars. But
Yeah.
those times have kind of changed, right? And not a lot of coins are doing airdrops anymore because Ethereum did airdrops. And how much is like one Ethereum worth right now?
Well,
So
it got up to like 14 or what, maybe 30 something hundred, 4,000 almost. Now I think it's down to like maybe 1,200 at the most. To be honest, I'm not even in it like
yeah,
that. Like,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It's like for in Canadian. I'm seeing in Canadian, but yeah, about like
Oh, okay.
five four 5,000 it got up to November the 12th 2021, so just over a year ago. But I heard that some people got like dropped airdrop 250 Ethereum. Can you imagine that times $250?
I just would like fall out just to
Yeah,
think about it.
5,000 times 250, how much is that?
Mm. I was playing around with
That's
those numbers when I
1.25 million you got for free if
1.2
you held on to it. 1.25 million for free, just like that.
attack
Well, you have to pay
because the
taxes on
government.
Yeah,
it.
well, you
No, the
pay.
government. Oh, hold on. See, that's don't give me the talking.
Wait,
That's
do you
right.
have to
Pay
pay
all your
taxes
taxes.
on that?
Okay, so I don't really feel comfortable talking about taxes because of I'm gonna blame Jan because there's certain ethics and stuff as a tax professional when giving advice that
Oh,
legally,
okay.
I'm kind of bound to. So that's why I kind of feel
Oh, okay. Okay.
Me,
yeah.
you're blaming me. What have I
Yes,
done?
yep. She did a great Jen's done lives or Kiki. She was going in on this therapist who was talking out the side of her neck about
Oh
Harry
God,
and
yeah.
Mary or Harry and Mary, Megan and Harry. And
Hmm.
you have certain as a professional, there's certain ethical standards that you have to be held to.
Yes.
And there's a lot well, cryptocurrency, that's crypto is like hiding. It's about definance, about essentially having your money be under your control, where our money isn't under our control. It takes days to move money and things like that. With crypto, you can put it from your wallet address instantly, or it basically you're only limited by the time it takes to be sent over the network. So if you're using like Ethereum, that's a much like more secure whatever network. You have some more but it just depends. It's more expensive, so you're paying more for it.
Hmm.
But when it comes to taxes, I would say that they're still regulating and figuring out how they're going to treat crypto. Um, if it depends on how you use your crypto. So if you use it as a investment, like a stock where you buy it at one price, you sell it, you're not you didn't receive it as payment for work, it gets treated differently. So it just depends. It like taxes. It depends.
I am rubbish with maths, but I've got a brilliant Christmas story to cheer everybody up who knows bugger all about taxes like I do.
Let's hear it.
Right. My daughter, my grandson is, I think he's just 10. So my daughter every year does the elf on the shelf thing, and it's
Oh,
really
nice.
elaborate because every blooming night she has to do something different,
Right?
think of different things to do, just for the elf of the shelf. So this year she thought, I can't be bothered to do it. So she had this conversation with him, and she said, I can't remember how it started, but she said something like, um, well, I'm not sure if the elf's going to come this year. And somehow he kind of guessed, and he said to her, so are you telling me that you and Daddy are the elf on the shelf? And she sort of went, well, sort of. And so she
How did you
said,
take that?
sorry?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
said,
she
how
said,
did? Yeah.
yeah, anyway, yeah, so she sort of said, oh, yeah. And her husband was standing there, didn't say a word because I think he thought, you get on with it. He's asking you
Mhm.
now, so you deal with it. So she's like,
Right.
well, yeah, yeah. So does that mean, what about sort of Santa? And she said, well, and she didn't really say anything, but he said, oh God, does that mean that you and Daddy are Santa? And she was like cringing, and she was in the conversation that we all dread, right? So then he said, oh my God, next thing you're going to say there's no tooth fairy. And he
Oh
looked
my goodness.
and he looked
Is
at
he
her,
okay?
and he was
How-
like, ah, and she was like, and she was speechless. She couldn't deny or say anything. That this poor little boy's life was crumbling before her, and she couldn't say anything to him. And then he said, next thing you're gonna say there's no Easter bunny.
You know what? The Easter Bunny was the one that took me out, to be honest.
Oh,
I was
it was
like, wait a
so.
minute.
I feel so sorry
These are
for
all
him.
lies.
How
I
did
feel
you
so
figure it was
sorry
lies?
for
Was it
him, and
the
I
size
feel
of the
sorry
eggs?
for her. It was
Huh?
awful.
What did you
And
say, Monty?
how did you know the Easter bunny was all lies? Was it the size of the eggs? Like, there's no way a
It
bunny could
wasn't a
lay eggs.
real bunny. No, it was. I was like looking at this person in the costume. I was like, wait a minute. I don't remember how old I was, but I was like, this is not a bunny. I wasn't even to the age where I was an observant kid. So I was way before 10 before I was like, wait, Santa isn't real. Like
Oh God, you were very cynical as a child
You know what?
then.
I
Somebody should have.
was. Mama,
Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I was gonna say they really should have brought out one of those Flemish giant bunnies for you. Then you would have been sold.
Oh, like the
You know those
what is
human-sized bunnies, those huge ones.
yeah.
Oh, I know what
Oh,
you
the
It
real
mean.
really
bunny?
scared her.
Yeah,
Oh,
But it's one of those
oh.
situations that once you've said it, you can't take it back. And this
No, you
poor
can't.
boy was standing there in the kitchen sobbing his heart out and coming out with all his childhood
Dad, I thought you were
magical
gonna give us a
moments.
heartwarming Christmas spirit story.
He was, and the way he was saying it was like, next thing you're gonna say, there's no tooth fairy, and it was, and she was like, oh my God, and her husband didn't say a bloody word.
Oh, he just let her take the rap and like go
Yeah, yeah,
on.
you
uh,
deal with it, mother.
My
You deal
goodness.
with it.
So I guess that's when he picked his favorite parent, huh?
Yeah. Oh, I
Oh,
did
that's so
feel for her
funny.
though. But
See, I
it's one
must
of
have been
those.
one of
You
those horrible parents because I never had my kids believe in Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, the two, none of that. Like
Oh, didn't
you know what?
you?
I never.
I wouldn't either.
You know
I mean,
what?
I wouldn't take it away from them, but I wouldn't have them believe in it like it's a real I don't like I would have them believe in it in a sense of like it's a character. not
I
as
just
in
don't
like
want to have
there's
to
really going to
talk
be a
with
Santa.
them when they find out that I lied to them. So it was like I just
Right.
couldn't bring myself to.
That's really strange because one year I was in a different community and there was a guy in there who didn't have kids, still lived at home with his mum. And we had this discussion where he said, when I've got kids, I'm not going to tell him I'm not going to say there's a Santa because I don't want him believing that some old guy comes in the middle of the night and
That
leave
too.
presents. And I thought that's a really strange way of looking at it.
That's
So
how I
it's
knew it
weird.
wasn't real. Because I'm like, wait, it's stranger danger any other time, right? You lock the door, you don't answer it, you know what I mean? You don't talk to strangers, you have code word. Like my mom was like when she would pick me up from school or whatever, if it was ever an emergency, she was like, okay, if someone says that, you know, your mom, your like I'm a friend of your mom's or whatever, they need to tell you this word or something like that. Like just don't believe them off cuff, right?
Hmm.
So when she's talking about this Santa Claus man coming down the chimney and stuff, let alone we didn't have a chimney, I'm like, okay, sure. So what presents am I giving? You know, if you say so, ma'am.
Oh God, that's really weird. And also what Cerinthia's saying
I
there
just did
that she
one.
didn't.
You see how your grandson had like this total meltdown. I just
Yeah,
couldn't bring myself to do that to my kids. So I was like, nope, there's no Santa Claus. There's none of that. Nope, 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 nope.
What?
I
Oh, so
know.
you said no? Like, so what do
Yeah,
you
I
do
was
for the
like, just tell me
holidays?
what you want. Write me the list, and I'll get you what you want, and I'll wrap it and put it up underneath. They never believed.
Oh,
So
okay.
your child was the one that was going round the
Yeah.
classroom saying, "There is a
And
Santa."
I got called into the school for that too. I got called into the school
Yeah.
for that, and I had to tell my daughter, like, okay, but and there's no Santa Claus, and why are they lying to their children? I was like, yeah, but people could believe what they want to believe, and she was just couldn't understand, and I was like, just don't say it anymore, okay?
Yeah. Well, I've
Well,
already
I
prepared what I'm going to say to my grandson tomorrow because I'm going over for Christmas dinner tomorrow. And I've already prepared what I'm going to say to him if he's
okay. So let's hear
being
it,
upset
Grandma.
of it.
Have you heard? There's no
I'm,
Santa. What do
I'm
you
going to
think?
say to him, do you know what, darling? It's, and this is how I said it to my kids as well. If you want to believe it, it's true. There are lots of people who don't believe it. But if you want to believe it, it's true. I still believe it. It's down to what people want to believe. That's how I leave it.
Okay.
I've left you
Yeah, that's
speechless,
fair.
haven't I?
Well, yeah, it's pretty fair.
Yeah, because I think I don't know. I mean, I can understand that people don't agree um with the Christmas being so, and the words gone completely out of my head. Um, where it's all about money and spending money and buying presents and blah blah
Oh,
blah. There's the word.
consumerism.
Consumerism, that's it. And I can understand that, but I think when it comes to children, I just think it's a wonderful story, a wonderful fantasy that I think is a shame if they don't experience it. That's just my opinion, but I'm a bit of a softie.
I
Mm.
get
So
Chantal fine, so it's like whatever.
yeah,
You said
yeah,
what?
My oldest daughter, my grandkids believe in it, so
do they?
Oh,
And
really?
yeah.
you
So
don't
how
go
do you
in there
feel
and say,
about
"No, it's
that?
not true."
Well,
Yeah,
I
so
mean,
how
it's
do you
her house,
treat it as
her kids. I
grandma?
can't really say too much, like, eh, you know,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know.
yeah. It
So,
is
but do
hard.
you say like Santa? Like, do you just like do you say nothing, or do you go
Well,
along
I
with
don't,
Santa?
'cause like I said, it's her house, her kids. I don't say.
Hmm.
I just go along with it. Like, yeah,
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
yeah, it's her
What
house.
about you, Monty? What would you do? How do you feel on this subject?
Yeah. Do you have any gifts for Lola and Martha?
Yeah, Lola and Martha don't believe in Santa Claus.
How
Oh.
old are they?
They don't. Lola realized as soon as she was a kitten, there's no Santa,
Oh,
Oh, okay.
and it's just me.
Well, well, what about Martha though? Because Martha's an educated lady. So, what does she think?
Yeah, I know, right? She might be deported anytime soon if DLF has his way.
So no
Wait,
catnips for the kitties tomorrow.
I got them things tomorrow, so they're getting their Christmas presents.
Aw. Did you
Yeah.
yeah.
decorate and everything, Monty? Or
I did not decorate, not this year,
yeah.
Mhm.
but maybe next year we'll see
Yeah, I
what's
have
in
to be
store.
honest, seeing you and your hat, it kind of put me in the like the spirit, the Christmas spirit. That was
Yeah.
cute. Yeah. Like I have a friend, she moved, so she couldn't really like do like all her lights and stuff that she usually does for the holidays. But I call it the Christmas museum because she goes all out, or she did, with like all of the little Christmas things. I'm not like a Christmas person, but to have the holiday spirit is it was like good memories of like going over and spending time. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Ziggy is saying it's hard to hide it nowadays, and not every kid gets a present. What do you tell your kids if you're broke? Tell them that they were bad. What about poor
That's
children? What
true.
happens to them? Well, that's a very loaded, hard question, and that's Boxing Day was for that. Remember how I said Boxing Day is Boxing Day, the day after Christmas, where
Oh,
all the
right.
toys would
Okay.
be collected and sent to those in need, all the kids in need, all the kids in orphans and
Mhm.
homes and whatnot.
Maybe you explain to it's like how YouTube works. Some people get paid on the first day, and some people get paid on second. So Santa gave some people the gifts on the 25th, but they get up.
Do
I'm
you
just
know,
sorry.
that's such a good question, really, and I don't think there is an answer for that. Um, I mean, what can you say? I'm sure the parents have something that they can say to the child to, hopefully not make them feel as if they've done something wrong. That's an awful thing. I can honestly say I've never really looked at it like that. But yeah, it's a very sad world. I mean, it does make me wonder about um, places where, and I'm talking about other countries that aren't as affluent as ours, how they deal with it. I don't know. It's a very good question, that.
It
And the
is.
thing is, I've seen some sad kids. My ex-husband remembers not getting any presents, and that's when he knew there wasn't a Santa. Yeah, that's really, really sad. That is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is sad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it is. Um,
But I think if you don't have presents or something, you can make a way to make it special. Maybe doing like arts and crafts, or doing
Yeah.
decorating, or making something just to do
mm,
something
Hmm.
as a family unit. I don't think it's really. I guess it depends on how you explain it to your children. Like I told my children, it really wasn't about the presents; it was spending time together. And we used to have like
Exactly.
popcorn. We
yeah,
would make things. I do that with my grandkids. We'll make things. I let them tear up the house. I don't care, just as long as they had fun.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the
And
same.
see, it's because I didn't believe in Santa and the presents. I didn't care about that. So, like, my favorite holiday memories growing up were like spending time going to um, see the lights. So what we do here is like they'll put up lights on the trees like in a park or something, and you drive around in your car, maybe sipping hot cocoa, depends on the event and what all they provide,
I did that with
or
my
they
son.
offer.
Yeah,
Yeah, and we
it
do
was a
stuff
lot of
like
fun.
that. Yeah, or they'll also do like oh, we would bake cookies. So I don't know, we always had like a collection of tins. So we would bake cookies and pass them out to like our neighbors and to members of the church. Stuff
Are
like that.
you
Like
going
it's
to midnight
yeah,
mass tonight? Are you going to midnight mass tonight? Do you have that over there?
In Canada?
we did, but I don't.
Mm.
Where Edna's from? Where's Edna from? Where are you from, Edna?
I'm from the
Where are
US.
you?
So
You're in the US. Do you have like
and
midnight
I'm
mass
in
over
Missouri
there?
and we do, so it's like depends on if you're in a church community. So I grew up religious, but I'm not necessarily religious right now. So I don't have like a home church that I attend.
Yeah, well, I'm the same, but I just go,
Oh,
and I
okay.
just get stared at by all the
Exactly. I'm
by
not
all
with
the
all that.
white
You have to.
by all the
Yeah.
white congregation who look at me and go, well, I haven't seen her all year, who's she? And I just ignore them because my relationship is with God and not with them. So
Right.
we're back to the like systematic racism in Britain. You still get that in the church communities. So in actual fact, I suddenly realised I had planned to go tonight, but I've still got lots of rapping to do, so I don't know whether I'm going to get
Right
there.
now. Yeah.
But
Well, my
I
church
do
was
like to
different,
go.
like, it was mainly Black, so I think my church was probably, like, 99% Black.
And it goes
So it
on
was
forever. Nobody gets out on time.
yes,
You'll be there till the next day for
there
you.
is no time. What is time, you know?
Exactly. Church will go over like 2 and 3 hours until the pastor stops talking, and then you get out.
Mhm. You've been
Yeah,
taking nap, fall asleep, wake up, they still talking, yeah.
Your grandmother been done booted you like, wake up.
Yeah. Oh my
uh,
goodness.
So
Good
yeah,
times, right? Yeah.
yeah,
well, I went a couple of years ago. Of course, COVID sort of
exactly.
interrupted the last couple of years. There's a nice
Okay.
church down my road. I because I'm like a confirmed Christian, but I could just
Okay.
go anywhere. I mean, but I mean, that's me anyway. Anyway, you know, if I want to go somewhere, I'll
Mhm.
go. Um, so yeah, I might go later. I'll see. I'll see how it goes. But I mean, it's what?
You
It's
know what,
1:30
Jen?
now.
When it comes to different spaces, I've kind of changed my mind on how I feel about that. Like, I feel like every space isn't for everybody. And
Mm,
just because you say you're a church and whatever, like I'm a vibes person. If the vibes are off, I'm good.
yeah, yeah. The vibes are very much off, and it's a shame because
It is,
um,
yeah.
you know, there's a cathedral. If you watch some of my vlogs, I quite often visit a cathedral in a
I
town
saw
that's
that.
about
Yeah.
10 miles away from here.
Mm.
Um, and I was thinking yesterday, oh, maybe I'll check, see if they've got a midnight mass going on. But the problem with that is parking the car. I don't really want to have to be parking the car and walking the streets at like, you know.
Have you seen that they if they have like a broadcast of it so you don't have to you can be there in spirit?
Oh, I
Like
hadn't
it's
thought of
literally
that. Yeah, that's an
Mhm.
idea.
figuratively. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I just enjoy that, but I have to say I don't. As you say, it's about the vibe, and the vibe isn't quite right for me in there. I
Mhm.
feel quite conscious, even though I'm the type of person that I don't really care. You know, look at me as much as you
Right.
like. You know, I can be here if I want to be type of person. But yeah, you do get very sort of snooty people in there, and they
Mhm.
sort of look at me and
And that's another thing that I'm starting to realize about myself is that I don't know, I guess I had like this fighting spirit that I could do anything if I put my mind to it and hustle and grind. And it's like, yeah, but I'm not about that life anymore. I'm more like go with the flow. I want to be attracted to and like pulled into what I feel like I should be doing or that really interests me. So I'm just taking my time to kind of sit back and relax and see what appeals, right? So I don't know, like when it comes to different churches, like especially like because I grew up in Southern Baptist and
mhm.
I have nothing wrong with it. It's like tons of great memories being in church, but I don't know. I feel like I might be going more towards like maybe Buddhism or I don't know, listening to Chantal, and I've always kind of had like a respect for Islam and everything. So I don't necessarily need to be a confirmed anything or like whatever. I just kind of take what serves me from different religions and stuff.
Well, I think I say confirmed because I was brought up in care and we were very sort of, it was quite religious. So
Hmm.
I used to go to, Church of England schools. That's Christian. So all my
Okay.
schooling has been, a Christian. And I'm still a believer, but I do believe that I'm
Right.
actually more spiritual than Christian because the, it seems that I would love to find. To be honest with you, I'd love to find a black church over here because I
Mm,
think I would enjoy that type of worship to the worship
mm.
of the churches I may stumble into every now and then. I'm more spiritual. I like to feel the vibe. If I go on holiday,
Mhm.
I always go to the local church. That's one of the places that I like to go because I like to feel the spiritual atmosphere and ambience of being in a religious place. So I think I'm more spiritual. So
Okay.
yeah,
Ziggy,
that's what I meant by being confirmed. That was all.
Ziggy,
Oh,
I'm
okay. Oh,
sending you so much love right now. I understand. I was in foster care too. I my heart goes out to you. I'm sending you so much love right now.
So they used to send you off in garbage bags as in dressed in garbage bags? Is that what
Yeah.
that's meant? That's real
or
sad.
with bags.
When you in foster care, the
Oh.
family used to separate you. Like if they did something, they wouldn't include you, and
Yeah, like going
make
on
sure you
vacation
did.
and
Oh,
stuff like that.
wow.
Yeah, I was in
Oh,
foster
wow, I'm
care
sorry.
for I think from 2 to 14. I was in for me and my
Okay.
siblings. Yeah, so Ziggy, my heart goes out to you.
Yeah, I was actually I was in care. When I say in care, I mean in a home. I was in a children's home
Mm.
all
Oh,
my
okay.
childhood. And I was going to be fostered when I was 3 or 5, 3 or 5, 4 or 5, and I couldn't settle because I was too institutionalized because I'd been there since birth.
Mhm.
And so they sent me back to the home and sort of on my file put unfosterable or something along those terms. So yeah, because they said, oh well,
Oh,
you know, it's no good putting her up for being fostered or adopted because she'll want to go back to the home. So yeah, I stayed there in the home. So until I was 16. But my Christmases are probably, you know, growing up were probably very different to people growing up within, you know, a family home, because
right.
we lived in a very institutionalized, you know, environment. But then I knew no different. So my Christmases weren't
Right.
about presents because I can't remember. I think one year, and this is out of my whole childhood, one year I got a cot, you know, for a baby doll, and I didn't have a doll. I remember, you know, they'd given me the the cradle,
Right.
the rocking cradle, but I didn't have a doll to go in it. So
Wow.
yeah,
Isn't
that was a bit
that a
upset.
metaphor, right?
Yeah. But hey, you know, we've all got different memories of Christmas, and I think it's just sort of a matter of, you know, I was saying to my son actually the other day, because this year was the first year I've not had a Christmas tree. Normally I have a Christmas tree, but last
Uh-huh.
year, and I don't want it to sound like a sob story, it's not really a sob story, but I put up my tree and I love doing the tree and everything, and nobody saw it because my teen had left. You know, my youngest son had left. He's now living with his girlfriend, and I thought, "Do you know what? I don't know if I can be bothered this year." I thought, I'm not going to be bothered this year because nobody sees it anyway. And my daughter was like, yeah, but you should do it for you. And I said, but yeah, I do it. I know it's for me, but to me, it brings a bit of sadness because I think Christmas should be about sharing. And, you know, if I'm going to make something beautiful with my Christmas tree, I want to show it to
Mhm.
people. Do you know what I mean?
Right. It's
Um,
I understand you 100%. That's like where I've gotten with a lot of different things where you I don't know, I feel like I've been working from home and it's like you feel kind of like locked away. And it's like I want to share my life. People tell you, I remember one time I was working with a client and she was like, "Oh, you're so this and that and blah blah blah." She's like, "You're so great. You need to live your life." I was like, "What do you think I'm doing? Like, give me my money. Like, we're living."
yeah.
And now I feel like I understand that in a different way. Like, understand, like, once you understand yourself and what you like, use that and connect with people,
That's
and
right.
it's simple, but I think we don't do that. Like, I think we do like what we expect other people to think, for us to do, which is fine. Like that's a part of connecting too, because we're giving people what they need. But for us, we have to give ourselves what we need, like through other people. But it's weird finding that balance.
The
Yeah,
thing
So
that
and
what
I
that's
you said, just spoke to
oh,
I don't know if that makes sense, but what you just said, Jan, made perfect sense for that.
Yeah, but the thing that I find like really magical tonight is that like even though we all come from different backgrounds, we have some similarities like with Ziggy, and I'm reading the chat about how a lot of things that we have in common. So that's
yeah.
could be sad
Yeah,
and good at
please
the
pull up
same
the
time.
chat.
Huh?
But it's life.
I
It's
said,
it's
please
what
read
real
the
life
chat
is.
because I can't follow both.
It's
So what
what
are people
real
saying
life
in
is,
chat?
isn't it? And if
Yeah,
everybody
it is real life.
shares, if everybody shares what they've been through or what they're going through, it shows what real life is. And real life isn't all about rainbows and and unicorns and whistles and parties. And, I've sort of got to the stage where I don't really want that. I mean, tomorrow I'm going over to my daughter's and with one of my sons, and Boxing Day I go to my other daughter's with my other son. I'm happy with that. The rest of the
Yeah,
time, and I'll be looking forward to coming home so that I can put something on, and just have that time to myself because I enjoy that, And I
exactly.
think we all sort of go through different phases in our life. And I think as long as we can have inner contentment, that's what it should be about, and
Hmm.
not feel as if you should be doing something. I should be having a wonderful time tomorrow because it's Christmas Day. Life's not like that, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. It's
Like you
freezing
said,
outside. I don't even want to go outside. You know what
it's
I mean?
oh
Like,
my god, New York weather is so cold. It's ridiculous. And I have to I live in Staten Island. I have to travel all the way to Queens for Christmas in the morning and with my it's worth it because I get to see all five of my grandkids. So it's worth it.
right, peace.
It's freezing as hell.
Mm,
It's
Mhm.
exactly.
freezing.
Yeah.
I'd like to thank Pat D. Pat D had sent me something. Merry Christmas, dear Monty and
Merry
lovely
Christmas,
chat.
Pat.
Merry Christmas to you, Pat D. Thank
Merry
you. I
Christmas,
appreciate it.
Patricia.
Yeah,
Yep.
Pat.
Did anybody cook anything? What did everybody cook for Christmas?
No, I just let myself be thoroughly spoilt. I think to myself, I've been a mother, I've had 4 of them, I've cooked for them for so long, and now I do bugger all. I mean, I might say to them, "Oh, do you want me to bring a dessert?" And more often than not, they'll say no. If they say yes, I go, "Oh God, the shops are shut. I can't." And that's it. Yeah, I admit it. I just no,
I'm
I
the one that
just can't have
everybody's
it.
like, "No, Cynthia, I'm vegan." So everybody's like, no, we don't want you bringing anything. That's perfectly fine. You can bring like
Oh,
the
I
paper
love
plates.
you. Yes, because I want
They
to
don't
be
want me
vegan.
bringing anything.
No, I went to like a friend of a friend's vegan Thanksgiving and it was so good.
Right, thank
Y
you.
I'm
Yes.
serious. Like, it was my favorite, like, because 'cause I'm allergic to, peanuts, and everybody likes the Friday dang turkey and peanut oil. So, I never have turkey on Thanksgiving anyway and blah, 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 so they're like vegan Thanksgiving was, like, so cool.
I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, my daughter went vegetarian a few years ago. But every so often she sneaks a bit of chicken. She just can't resist it.
Yeah.
But I mean, she's completely changed her diet, and like milk. She has oat milk and some other milk. I'm like, ugh. But yeah, so my son's girlfriend is also, she was almost vegan, but she couldn't cope in the end. No, I had to,
Mm.
she
Yeah,
eats
that's
fish.
where I feel like the labels are kind of limiting where, like I don't call I probably would say I'm plant-based more than anything. Like I try to eat mostly tofu or like I just don't like meat to be honest. Like sometimes it'd be really good, like I'll throw it in something, but I'm fine with just veggie options.
Mm.
Wait, turducken, is that when you put the turkey and the chicken and the duck.
Yeah.
How does that cook evenly? I always wonder, how does that, if you're stuffing all of that, and how does that cook evenly?
I don't know, but hi, D-Rob.
Right, guys, it's no good. I'm going to have to finish wrapping. So
All
I'm going
right,
to wish
Jan.
you all a very happy Christmas.
Happy
And
holidays, Happy New Year.
Happy holidays.
Yeah,
Merry
take
Kwanzaa.
care.
same to you. And yeah, take care of yourselves out there, guys.
All right,
And
take care.
You too.
I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. I guess we'll wrap this up. Thank you for being on Jan's Views. We got Sarinthia, still Edna. Any last thoughts or words on this Christmas Eve?
Happy holidays.
Yes.
Value your family. Let them know that you love them. And Monty, sending all my love to you because I know it probably be very difficult for tomorrow. So all
Yeah.
my love.
Thank you so much, Sarinthia. I really appreciate you. Same to you. My condolences again. And, you be safe. Have a Merry Christmas.
You too. Thank you. Bye,
Bye-bye.
Edna, sweetie.
Bye. And I want to officially welcome everybody to the Discord. Is open. The link is on my YouTube. I also have it posted to the Instagram and Twitter.
Okay.
So feel free to come in, check it out. It's just a cozy space. It's our Discord. So if you have any ideas or thoughts, Mary is the mod. Thank you, Mary. She's done such a wonderful
Bye,
time.
Mary.
Yeah, and there's already some people in there. So we've already started. It's kind of like I've been slowly building. So now it's kind of like the soft launch. We're ready. First event is tomorrow. We'll be having a watch party for A Christmas Story at 8 p.m. Central Time.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
nice.
so yeah, come by.
You said it's on. I can, because I think you're following me on Instagram. Can you send me a message with the link so I could join the?
Oh my goodness, you guys. I know I'm not that great with technology either,
Okay,
but if
I'll
you
go to your.
look
It's on your page on the
at,
about
yeah, it's
page.
on my page. Yeah, it's
Okay.
on, no, it's on my, yeah, if you can't find it, just DM me and I'll send you the link. But if you can find me, you should be able to see the link.
Okay.
All right, sounds good. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a good one. If I don't see you guys tomorrow, see you another time. But Merry Christmas if you celebrate.
Happy
And take care of
holidays.
yourselves. Bye-bye.
Bye.